Islam is all about compassion and mercy, but we got to be really careful to not redefine compassion and mercy along the way and make it really about injustice or something that Allah doesn't like. And we see that today. Some people are afraid. They're afraid that if they stand up in a brave way or in a courageous way, that this is against or contradicting sort of the mercy that we're supposed to have in Islam, or the mercy that Allah shows us, or the mercy of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But the golden standard is always what did the prophets do? And in fact, in Surah Nuh, you see at the end, how Nuh alayhi salam dealt with the people who rejected the message, right? He makes a dua to Allah, right? And that dua is something that I think our modern sensibilities would not necessarily immediately read as merciful and compassionate, right? He says, وَقَالَ نُوحُ رَبِّ لَا تَذَرْ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ دَيَّارًا. He's like, don't leave any of them on earth. He's like, wipe them out. That's the actual prayer that Nuh makes for these people who he had been calling. Okay, there's a setup here, there's a context. He had been calling them, for a long, long, long time. And the nature of their rejection, as we've said before, is not a cognitive failure, but a moral failure. Istakbaru istikbara, Allah says, is that they put their fingers in their ears, they put their clothes over their head, they kind of like cover themselves up. They knew the truth and they rejected it, right? What's the Prophet's reaction? We're talking about Prophet Nuh here, alayhi salam. He said, Allah, don't leave a single one of them left on the earth. And he has a reason why. He says in the next verse, إِنَّكَ إِن تَذَرْهُمْ يُضِلُّوا عِبَادَكَ, is that if you leave them on earth, they're going to mislead the creation. Actually, he specifically says, your slaves, right? And so this is a real concern. So it's just something to keep in mind. Yes, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is rahmatan lil alameen, is a mercy to the worlds, right? But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he also, fought people in battle. He also made dua against some people when he knew that their rejection was due to a moral failing and arrogance. Now, obviously, you and I, we don't have the ability to, we don't know the unseen. We can't tell who's being completely sincere and who's not, who might be guided. We hope Allah guides everybody. But that doesn't mean we become cowards. And it doesn't mean that we change the definition of mercy to conform to a more modern definition of mercy, which is like just being nice and friendly to everybody. No, if you're going to come at us or Islam, or you're going to even oppress anybody, regardless of their faith, then we have a duty to put you in your place, whether it's verbally, or with, writings and books and videos or things like that. So we have to be really, really careful of the concept creep. We can't let mercy and compassion become redefined. We have to make sure that our mercy and our compassion is the mercy and compassion of the prophets. And that's something that Surah Nuh helps show us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Uticamasjid is trying to be on the forefront of masajid in North America when it comes to being financially sustainable. And part of that plan is having a source of income that's beyond just donations. So we've purchased a property and we're turning it into a religious endowment. Currently, we're $30,000 short of what we need to close out and completely be done with this acquisition. This Ramadan, we are raising money to try to cover the $30,000 shortfall, and we ask for everybody watching, who everybody supports Uticamasjid content, everybody who loves what we're doing, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through this opportunity, to take advantage of attempting to build something that's greater than any single one of us, and to try to reserve your spot in paradise through this particular initiative. So please give generously. Barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullahu khairan.